Salut! I am Char from Gaming with Char and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to show you a brand new challenge that I have been working on for The Sims 4. This challenge is all about going through the eras of history from Stone Age right up until present and potentially even further. So without further ado, let's jump into this. On the website gamingwithchar.com you can find the challenge here. You can see the eras that we're going through at the beginning. So we have the Stone Age, Romans, Anglo-Saxons, Vikings, Medieval, Tudors, Stuarts and Georgians. However, after the Georgians we are going to America and there will be a storyline of the Sims finding out about America and the Wild West and the frontier, wanting to travel over there, and having a couple of Sims, with or without their fortunes, traveling to a new world and starting a frontier over there, and then playing through some of the American history, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I would love to add other cultures in there. If you know enough about some other cultures and ways that they could fit into this challenge in the future, then let me know in the comment section and we can have a look. Okay, so today I want to go through the introduction and the world rules. Okay, so we are on the introduction page of Through the Ages. So first off, the inspiration from this challenge comes from the History Challenge, which is a very old Sims 3 and 4 challenge made by Snowy, then by Cloudseeker, with a score sheet and Word documents. The History Challenge looks at different parts of history from all over time and places, starting with the Stone Age and going through to Future Tec Era. Then I found the Great British Sim Challenge by Immersed Crown, which has a similar concept. This challenge goes through British history for 12 generations and looks at the British timeline. This challenge also takes inspiration from the Decades Challenge and Rags to Riches Challenge. However, there are so many versions and I could not find a clear original copy to link in. Next, you will head on to what you can expect from Through the Ages. So here I am and I can't wait to get started, which is still true. I'm so psyched for this. I will be playing through each era before writing the next generation. I want to make sure that generations move forward in a way that feels natural and does not become repetitive or too easy or hard. This challenge is designed to go through eras rather than generations, so you can easily make this a 100 generation challenge as well. The era finishes when the goals are completed rather than when a baby is born. So that was one of the aspects from the History Challenge that I didn't like, and actually I found either I was making up a lot of time for when I'd finish the goals but the baby wasn't born, or I was fighting to finish the goals and getting really stressed out because I wasn't going to finish the goals in time. And so this is when the goals are completed, then you move on to the next generation, which I think is also going to make it feel like it's moving a bit smoother as well, and it's going at your pace as well, which I think is important. The first era is the Stone Age, and so this will be broken into two parts. Emergence of the Sims. This is more of a rags to livable life aspect. Then the agricultural stage of the challenge, which will focus on getting a farm together. And again, I think this is going to give it more story, more body, and make it flow better. You can also expect to go through every skill, aspiration and career in all of the Sims 4 packs. However, I have made sure the base game is throughout all of the challenge, which means you are going to be able to do something in every stage, no matter what you are on. There's also going to be stories, deaths and events in all eras. If you don't fancy doing something, that is fine, move on. Everything is color coded, which is explained below. So stories, deaths and events. Now the stories are elements of history that happened or myths that are said to have happened, and so you can choose to implement them in some way in your game. So it's more of a creative prompt rather than this is what you now need to do, this is the relationships you have to have. So for instance, in Rome, I'm going to give you one aspect that's going to take in account all three of these. So you'll have the story of Remus and Romulus. Their story starts in the Stone Age and brings in the next generation, which is the Romans. So the story says that Remus and Romulus created Rome. However, Romulus killed Remus. So that's going to be the story. So you can choose to have 2 children that are brothers called Remus and Romulus. And obviously one killed the other, so you have a negative relationship with them. Now, the death and the event, and all events are played by rolls of the dice. What will happen is Remus and Romulus, you're going to get them into a fight, and then you're going to roll your dice. If it's an even number, Remus dies. If it's an odd number, Remus doesn't die, and then maybe you can have them patch things up, and it's the history if Remus had survived that event. You're also going to have wars and plagues throughout as well, which is going to be exciting. So you're going to want to have lots of babies, and you're going to want your neighbouring villagers to have lots of babies as well, so that you could potentially play with everyone. Okay, next off, we are going to have a look at the world rules. Everything here is by choice. If you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it. So the era finishes when the goals are completed. If you're enjoying an era, then you can stick around for a while and move on when you're ready. It's as simple as that. There's no pressure to get through these as quickly as possible. Just enjoy the ride, enjoy the different histories that you're going to come across. The Sims are an accepting bunch. However, through history, racism and sexism have run through history. So there's 3 aspects that I think can trigger people, and I want to put them in here as a choice thing. So obviously sexism, women had no rights, and it was the male heir was the one that kept going through. You know, if you want to do that, you're welcome to use a male heir until a certain era where women have more rights. You could have children with only Sims that are of the same ethnicity until a certain era. Of course, this is the racism aspect, and it's one that's going to be very difficult to do correctly without offending anyone. And so I will have it in my game. You can choose to have it in your game. You may not want it in your game. That is fine. I want to show how things progressed over time, so I am having it in my game, and you'll see that throughout all the recordings as time goes by, and the unfair and the stupidity of the whole thing as well. Religion is a sore spot for me, so that is one of those things that does play a part in a lot of people's lives even today. However, it was much more rigid back before, during a period of time. Now, there is going to be a time in the Sims eras where you have to go to church every Sunday, and you can do that by using the calendar and creating an event, and I will show you how to do that later on. If you want to add that in, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Moving on swiftly. When you move to a new generation, you may wish to break away from the household. So there's several different ways of going into the next generation. You could choose to have a household split. So you take your favorite Sim over to a new lot, and you start almost as a rags to riches every time, or taking the money with you. You may wish to have an heir that stays there, keeping everyone on the lot. You may also choose to use a mod that allows you to have more Sims on the lot, which is then going to let you keep an entire family together up to, like, I think there's some that go up to 100 Sims per household. So you can choose to do that if you want to. If you don't, it's fine. So a good starting place is Windenburg, because it is a small island where there isn't anyone, there's no real man-made structures other than a couple of piers and a big fire, which looks Stone Agey. So that's ideal. You could choose to have something like that. Okay, the fun bit, if you use the hashtag through the ages, in the gallery for your Sims and builds, I will do videos showcasing what you have come up with, and potentially using some bits in the next generation for my game as well. If you have any social media and you are showing this off on there, for instance YouTube or Instagram, let me know and I'll shout out your channels and pages and everything like that. just leave it in the description box of the gallery. Okay then, so over the next couple of episodes we're going to have a custom content and mods episode where we're going to go over what is available online for you to download, where to get it from, how to download certain mods and CC. It will be a voiceover. I feel like that's going to be the easiest way of doing it. And also we are going to have episodes on how to set up the world, how to set up the other families, and then how to start your own family and lot. Then we are gonna jump into the actual series. So we have quite a few episodes of the intro of this, and I think it's just important. I have so many people saying that they want to see how to set up an entire world, how to set it up from the very beginning, rather than just jumping in to the Stone Age and you're just like, wow, how did you get all this? I'm going to show you how to get all that. And I think that's going to be a really important thing. So if you've enjoyed this episode, if you're excited for the future, then please do like, subscribe, share. Keep an eye out for the next video. And if you want to see the disaster of me playing the history challenge, then check that out as well. It's here somewhere. Bye.